Welcome back to Something Like That. My name is NAV. It's good to see you again. How you doing? How you feeling? Well, this is a podcast where we have a chat with all our friends from the Malaysian music industry. It doesn't matter arts or entertainment. Well, if it's good, we'll have a chat. We'll talk about it. And my next guest on the show today, all right, I've heard of him many times. I think I've bumped across a couple of his shows before. I've seen his music, but then again, I was just curious to know who exactly is this guy? Because he seems to be like popping up on my Facebook feed, my Instagram friend suggestions, and things like that. So finally, one of our mutual friends just buzzed me up. We had a chat with the mutual friend. He said, "Hey, Nev, have you heard of Keith?" I said, "Yeah, I have." So you should chat with him. I said, "Perfect. Finally, I know somebody who knows Keith to make my life much easier and have a chat with him." Is none other than Keith KAMALARAJ. I got the name right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, good. I got to just. It's not to say a mouthful, but I just got to be careful when I say it.
Yeah,
I just want to mispronounce it and all. But I'm a bit curious about you, Keith. Are you like a solo act or are you with a band? Because sometimes I see it's just Keith KAMALARAJ. Then all of a sudden I see it's Keith and the Casualties. So which is which right now?
So I think it started out as Keith KAMALARAJ because there was nobody to play with.
Okay.
And then
Solo.
So because generally I'm the songwriter, they're my songs.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first met up with everybody, it was like everybody already knew me, so it had to be me plus the band.
Oh, okay,
So I started out as an open micer and stuff. So that's how I started singing my own music. So I guess everybody was familiar with Keith KAMALARAJ. So if I suddenly had started out with just the band, the Casualties, everybody, it reintroduced myself all over again.
Oh, okay. So that's why I get it. Because the thing is, you said you were in open mic, so you are one of the, let's say, ardent supporters of Merdeka Raya. I'm guessing.
Yes.
Did it all start from there?
I actually started with Open Mic Malaysia.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't brave enough to go to Merdeka Raya and play my own music yet.
Okay.
Yeah, this was like some 4 years ago, I think.
So when exactly did you get into the music business?
I've been playing music since I was 12, a long time.
Okay.
But like actually playing my own songs for people to listen, maybe about 3-4 years now.
Oh, okay. So you just broke your
Fairly
virginity
new
about
entrant.
3-4 years back, lah. Okay,
Yeah, but I've been playing in bands my whole life. Like, yes, I'm in KL.
You're a KL boy, lah.
Correct. Born and bred.
Okay.
Come from
Because for my past couple of guests, I've been having guests all the way from my hometown, Ipoh, and finally someone back in KL again, which is kind of nice also, which is kind of nice. And, well, of course, like I was mentioning earlier, one of our mutual friends were talking about you the other day, and you seem to be popping up on my Facebook feed, my Instagram, friend suggestions, and I was just so curious, why the hell is this guy just popping up almost everywhere? It's not like you added me as a friend or me adding you, but it's just the suggestions keep coming up, and then I realized we have quite a number of mutual friends, and one of it was Sid, and I was having a chat with Sid in Merdeka Raya, ironically, and then he was telling me, "Hey, check out this guys, you should, man." I said, "Yeah, I did," and then I was just going back through your music on Spotify and some of your videos. Wow, it was amazing, man. I was just wondering why haven't I really met this guy earlier before this? And finally I got the chance. So let's talk a bit about you and your music. And to describe your music, based on the sounds that I've heard, all the 4 tracks, you had about 4 tracks released, which was somewhere in 2019. You had Bridges, Do You Hear What I Hear? I think it's a Christmas song, if I'm not mistaken. Then in 2000, you had Blind Faith. And the most recent one was in 2021, which is Loved, Lost, and Died. Right? Okay, let's talk about all these songs. Let's go from the very beginning itself. Let's start off with Bridges. What was Bridges all about, and what made you write that particular track?
Bridges was actually I was watching one of those, druggy documentaries where they follow those junkies through the streets and see like how they live their life and the impact of drug abuse and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then that was the principal idea. The song started out with that. It was just somebody like being stuck somewhere and then trying to make a better life, I guess.
Okay.
And then that's where it became. And then I guess later on the song becomes about independence. Once you've conquered that demon in your life, then yeah. And then sometimes you have to burn bridges to make new ones, I guess, meaningful new ones. Sometimes you got to burn your old bridges. Yeah. That's what the song's about. Yeah.
All right, because that's pretty much is what it sounds like when the lyrics, because they have a deep meaning for that one. And of course, you were pretty consistent in coming up with your next track. And which is, Do You Hear What I Hear? Is that exactly a Christmas song or anything similar to that?
Yeah, correct. It's actually an old Christmas song. I forget the songwriter now. I should be hung for that. But it's an old Christmas song.
Okay.
And yeah, I always like the mean. I always like the story. Songs like that. Really what I listen to the most. I like stories with song. Sorry, songs with stories like a beginning, a middle, and an end. That song is a
Nice.
very
And is
It's
that
very
how I mean, does that influence you in your song writing?
certainly. I always try to have some kind of story. I do my best to try and tell a story through each song.
Okay, if that's the case, tell me the story about Blind Faith.
That one's a very straightforward message. I think it's just one of those optimistic songs. It's about believing in yourself and going for it. It's one of the first like one of the first few ideas that I actually came up with. I never did anything with the idea for like a year, and then a year later I revisited. Suddenly I got the song title came to me, Blind Faith. I was like, yeah, that's not bad. So there's a message of optimism, I think, in that. So that's what that one's about.
Oh, cool, man, cool. And I'm guessing Lived, Lost, and Died had a better meaning for that because the title itself says, I don't
Yeah,
know, it sounds something like you had a breakup or some things along that line.
yeah. So if Blind Faith was the optimism, this one's the complete opposite, I guess. It's like there's it was it, one of those heartbreak songs. Like it's no other way,
Okay.
no other way around it. Yeah.
Okay, but it sounded kind of nice because I've also noticed there's something about your music. You had this, of course, you had the blues feel in it, but at the very same time, you have that Seattle grunge influence in your music. Is that part of your whole process of your songwriting and the music that you play on stage?
I don't know if it's intentional. It's not like I set out to say, okay, I want that Seattle grunge sound, but I guess it's a byproduct of growing up in the 90s, I think.
That's one of the
So
best eras, man.
yeah, a lot of 90s rock, even though I don't cover or I don't really play a lot of 90s rock, but that sound is like something that if you're a 90s kid, that
Yeah,
sound of 90s rock is in your head. Like it's that's the sound of rock for you.
it's like now they say this so-called emo rock, but I would say that the emo rock thingy actually started way back in the 90s when you follow the grunge, the genre itself, because we had deep meanings. They were very poetic, and at the same time
Yep.
you had the riffs, or rather the music, which is a combination of the 70s rock, 80s rock, and of course this trending of 90s rock, which is I think it can pass
Correct.
through several generations. Even if you play something from the 90s, that era, that rock era right now, it's still relevant. It still can be like accepted across the board. That's one of the best part about
Correct.
the 90s rock era, and you being one of them who has that influence, because I watched a couple of your videos on stage, and like I said, I might have come across your shows before, but I can't really put my finger on which show or when did
Yeah,
I
it's
watch
been
it.
a while.
But yeah, so the thing is, like, I was watching a couple of those videos, and you had that interesting feel. And do you actually do that for all your shows, like in terms of like having in the full-fledged band, or are you more focused on being a solo artist yourself? For you, when you go on
As
stage.
much as possible, I try to have the band.
Okay.
I love playing in a band. That's the thing that gets me going. I feel
Nice.
like a lot of my music requires the band for it to translate, in terms of the energy, or if it's a rock song, it's very hard to do it with an acoustic guitar. I have a song called "If There Ever Comes a Day," which
Okay.
should play quite often, and I can never do that song if I'm playing open mic or acoustic or something like that. It just won't translate. So I thrive on playing with the band.
Let's talk a bit about your band. Speaking of your band, because I've noticed a couple of familiar faces. This looks like the Avengers assembling in one particular showtime. Because I've seen Jay Rizwan there. I know
Yeah,
Aslan is on board, and a couple of the guys who they have their own individual projects and also their band projects, just like you. So how does
yeah.
this work for you guys? It's like, because I'm a bit confused. Where I've noticed this happen quite often. Like, say, for example, if I'm going to take Hey J, I've seen Shakir along with Hey J and all this kind of stuff in his unit. Then if Shakir comes in, he has a couple of other guys like Azlan and all come working on his band, and then Azlan has
Yeah,
his own
myself as
thing
well.
going on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You are in the whole thing, and then it's like you guys like jumping, hopping bands. Like you have 4 or 5 different bands, but it's the same guys. So how does it work actually?
I think it's just well, for one time it's very limited because everybody's got 4 or 5 different projects. So also the other thing, I think the reason why we like to do it is because like we provide an avenue for each other to play, and it's I think in each one of those situations we're playing different kinds of things, which keeps it
Okay,
really interesting. If you're playing in my band, then it's it's pretty rock and roll. Playing with Aslan, it's a little bit more pop, and it's not the same feel. Shaka is straight up blues and that kind of thing. So I I think it's not so much an issue for us to make it work. It's more like the fitting in everything, like because we all have day jobs as well.
okay,
Yeah, which is the trickiest part. So usually, how we make it work is it's a show by show basis. Like it's whose band is having the next show, and
okay.
then we'll be practicing maybe 2-3 weeks before that, and then we move on to the next person, and
So
so
at
on and
least
so
you
forth.
still get lepas geram lah in terms of performing. If you're not doing it on your particular
Yeah,
band,
correct.
you get to pop into other people's band and just like, oh yeah, still
Yeah,
have fun rock
exactly.
and
There's
rolling.
there's
Actually,
still
kind of nice,
music to
interesting
do.
concept because I've just discovered that through you guys. I mean, I've seen sessionists. Yeah, sessionist is a little different from that case, but
Hmm.
in your cases, like it's kind of unique to see all you guys performing in different types of genre, different shows, different I don't know, different music, different styles, which is something I wish a lot more people would do that because I just love to have that combo. You know, you just like it's like it's like a buffet line. You just mix and match
Yeah,
everything and
yeah,
just get the
correct,
perfect
correct,
meal. It's pretty
correct.
cool. But also, you had 4 singles out, and for almost 5 music videos. Have you ever considered making music videos for the tracks?
Um, I'm a little bit weird in that sense where I'm not into the appeal of all that just about
Hmm.
yet. I feel like right now my focus is on building a solid body of material first. Like I'd like to be able to have some good music behind my name before I start thinking about music and all that. Because if I'm being totally honest, the publicity and like I'm not in it. Like I don't want to be famous or anything like that. It's like if you like the music, I'm very grateful. I truly appreciate it. I would love for people to
Okay.
come to shows, and I appreciate all that. But my main focus now is on um, putting a solid body of work behind my name first. That's my
Nice.
priority. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do, or
Okay.
if it's the way that's gonna make you money or anything like that. But
You just don't want to do it for the sake of doing it.
yeah, correct. I feel like that's what I should be doing, so that's what
Nice.
I'm focused on doing. Yeah.
Nice. I kind of like a person who's well prepared or well preparing themselves before he steps out fully, full fledged, and so on. But and on the same note, is like sometimes you create music for people to listen, and it's things like this, like for example, like a music video, maybe a lyric video, or a little bit of publicity that helps get your music out there. You know,
I
getting
suppose you're right.
sharing
Yeah.
sharing it with people out there. So by not doing that, do you think that is going to affect you in the long run?
I don't know, and
Okay.
I'm at this point. I'm not sure if I'm concerned about that just yet. But I
Okay.
suppose you're right. I mean, my the next thing on my list is to get into the studio to get a
Okay.
couple of songs down. I don't know if it's going to be an album or if it's going to be a single by single thing yet. So
Okay.
once that's done, yes, then definitely you naturally you'll need to start thinking about a music video, lyric video, that kind of thing, and publicity for the band. I just feel like that I should have some meat ready to serve before I open the buffet. Yeah,
Nice. I like it. I like it
yeah.
very much. And coming up, heading into the studios and making music, are you the kind of person who works on a theme or a series of songs, like a concept of it? Like if I'm going to release 4 singles, it's interconnected or interrelated with each other. It has its own theme to be compiled as an EP or maybe an album. Are you focused on that, or is just like it goes by based on what's your emotion like at that particular time you wrote that song?
As of now, it's ideas that come to me
Okay.
that really that speak to me or something like that. That's how I work. I have certainly thought about a theme that kind of album production idea. It would be nice, but I think it's a bit of a challenge now to do it solo. It would definitely be something that I think would be easier to do if like there was a group of us sitting in a room writing together, that kind of thing.
Cool.
I haven't,
Absolutely.
but I've never actually done it concretely. No lah. Thought about it, sure.
Yeah, it's nice to have an idea, right?
Yeah, correct.
Because I always love, because I've noticed that seems to be a, I wouldn't want to say trend, but it's also a way of a lot of people trying to have a follow-up. It's like I come up with the first single and the story continues with part 2 and part 3. So
thing.
yeah, it creates the anticipation for people to know what's next. What's next. It's like watching a whole movie by listening to it. You know,
it's also a very classic move for a rock band to do. Like a lot of rock bands have released, like there'll be there'll be some album in their career where it'll be a themed album. You know, it'll be one thing like Dream Theater has done it.
I think quite a number of them. Even I think Pink Floyd did that, and a couple of
other
guys
exactly.
Too.
That's what
they've been doing that. As for shows, how is it coming along? Since now they pretty much everything is considered so-called lifted to a certain extent. Has that actually helped you out, or is just like still hanging there for you?
Very few and far between.
Okay.
They come around a lot more in the last. I mean, as compared in the last couple of months compared to the last 2 years, but it's still slow moving, lah.
Yeah, but it's like doesn't it like give you guys? Because I'm not a musician, like I said before. The only thing I could ever play is a CD player. I never played anything. I can't sing to save my life. You can put a gun on my head, I still can't sing. But the thing is, I've also noticed that bands, when you have a huge gap of not playing, then all of a sudden you just cramp yourself up in the jamming studio trying to work something out. Does it really help, or does it take a long time for you guys to actually get that whole fine-tuned thing going on?
I think it works differently for different bands.
Okay.
The way that all the people we've been playing with is because of the fact that we do it so often. I mean, with so many different people, so we're okay. Like just okay, we have a gig in 2 weeks' time. Let's just get into the studio and crash the songs out, that kind of thing. So so far it's been like that. Nice. Also, like I said, because we all have day jobs and other commitments, so it's a bit hard to get like a let's say we want to practice 6 hours a week or something like that. It's kind of hard to organize that as of now. But
that will be considered one of your biggest obstacles, lah.
I think so. Time is an issue, and then because we play in so many places, we have to prioritize like who's is the most important lah right now. That's usually how it goes. Which is the next.
I think your last show, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, was somewhere around January, February. Is that it?
For my band, yes. I also play with Billy Blue in the Nowhere Man. We had a gig a week ago.
Okay, Jama.
Yeah, in Jama.
Wait, yeah. Okay. Now it's all coming back to me right now. Now it's coming back to me.
Yeah.
The first one you were also playing, right?
That was in December or November. December, I think. Yeah.
I think it was somewhere around there. It was okay.
Yeah.
Now finally I'm getting the whole picture once again. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So even like on a per band, I don't think any band is like really regularly playing here 1 month and then there the next month. You know, it's still like
But I've noticed this past 2-3 months has been quite a number of gigs going on. I mean, different.
Yeah, they're slowly coming back up with which is good lah.
I think I need a part-time job just to buy the tickets, man. There's like too many shows going on back to back, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. It's a great thing, in fact. And it's good to see that. Especially when it comes to rock bands. I just love it, man. I just love it. There's so many of it to check out. I just don't know when and where or which one to pick and choose. Of course, you can't take anything. But for you, which would you suggest, or rather, which would you go for the upcoming shows? Have you come across anything that you have your eyes set on?
I am not too familiar with what's coming up as of late. I've actually spent the last week in isolation. I got the COVID.
Oh,
so yeah.
So you're not left out now.
Yeah, correct.
Because I know it's like early, the initial stage when you get it, it's like, whoa, you got it. Now it's like, you don't get it. Hey, you haven't got it yet.
Yeah.
That kind of thing
but
going on.
Yeah, so
you still never get it. How come, huh? Okay.
I can claim my badge
I'm
now.
glad that you're okay right now, man. I'm glad that you're okay right now.
I'm not aware who's playing, who's interesting playing that you know of in the next couple of weeks.
I don't know. There's a couple of it I saw. There's a couple that I know. I think was it Darren? Darren is not coming out. I think Darren just finished his. I know Danny Kumari is coming up with one. Her show is coming up pretty soon. And let's see, if I'm not mistaken, there's one big showcase. Republic of Brickfields and a couple of other guys are coming on board. Also, the Seven Color T-shirt, they are back in action. There's quite a number of shows upcoming.
I heard the
So
last show was
it's
pretty good too.
yeah, I know. It's like I hope I can catch this one once again, hopefully, because it's always clashing with some of the events in my line of work. So, and speaking of line of work, what is it that you do apart from music, man?
The day job is an English teacher. I teach English in a homeschool.
I gotta watch my words.
No lah. I turn it off after 4 p.m.
Does that happen to you when you try to have conversation with people and being an English teacher is like when they have broken English or bad grammars? Does that make you cringe?
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't make me cringe, but I find myself noticing it a lot more now because it's my job to notice it.
Okay.
Like so like before this, you never. I mean, who cares, lah, right?
Yeah,
Speak
fuck it,
as long as
shit,
as long as you can get your point across. Like, who gives a crap whether grammar is good or not?
Yeah, it's just that people,
Yeah.
some of them I know that tend to correct people, especially when they're in the feel of, they're pretty, let's see, efficient or rather professional line of work, which is like lecturers, teachers, or something to do with English. They tend to correct others, naturally. It's like, no, it's pronounced as this, no, it's said as that. Do you do that?
No, I don't. I think if it's necessary for the situation, then yes, but I don't go around correcting people. No.
Okay. Thank you. Just in case, like, because I got a bit of phobia when it comes to this so-called of having a conversation with people who's a teacher or something like that.
Yeah,
because I had a bad experience.
Because you're always second guessing.
Yeah, exactly. I had a bad experience during my school days. It's like I had an English class teacher who said, "Nav, you'll never make it in life. You'll never speak English ever again." That kind of thing. So there's a bit of paranoia going on for many years. But then again, I earned a living doing that.
Very very heavy thing to say to a kid.
Trust me, dude. During my days of growing up, that was pretty mild.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
It's something you'd be proud of. It's like, oh shit, the teacher scolded me.
Yeah.
You're just glamorous at that particular point.
Probably laugh about it, your friend.
Exactly. So I mean, being an English teacher, I'm pretty sure it helps you a lot in your songwriting, right? Are you the kind of person who reads poetry and all those kind of things? Do you do that?
I don't like, okay, I'm going to find the next piece of poetry, but if I come across, I have no discrimination to what I read. Like, if I come across, I'll read anything. Yeah.
And do you write them? Apart from
songwriting? Not habitually.
Okay.
The occasional one, just to exercise the muscle, I guess.
Nice, because I've always fascinated songwriters because I've had this conversation many times with a couple of other bands before. It's like, for me, on a personal note, I've always paid close attention to lyrics. Lyrics are pretty much the soul of a song.
Yeah,
you can have the so-called the music and all the vibes, the shows, and the body, and that lyrics actually is the soul of a song. And many of them don't really pay attention to it. It's just like you have that 4 lines and followed by a chorus and then repeat, all the way. But for you, do you enjoy listening to those kind of tracks, or do you really prefer tracks that has deep meaning lyrically?
No, I'm definitely one of those people, because I think the lyric is the most important thing of a song.
Yes.
Unequivocally. No matter how good the music is and the singer is and all that, if the lyrics are not moving or not making people think or something, then the song's not really justified. I mean, sure, a song can be written just for entertainment value, for catchiness. The purpose of the song is like that. But the kind of music I listen to, no, the lyric usually has a very important role.
If I would ask you your top 5 tracks of that at the top of your head right now that you listen to, what would it be?
Ooh.
Top 5.
That's a hard one, man.
Okay, what was the last 5 songs you were listening to, man?
Okay, wait, let me open my Spotify.
Hey, that's cheating, dude.
Okay, top of my head. John Mayer, for sure.
Oh, nice.
Slash.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and listened to Dream Theater the other day.
Okay.
I got into what's his name? The guy with the crooning songs, Cat Stevens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cat
I kind of like the
Stevens.
description.
Yeah. And Eric Clapton, for sure. Eric Clapton's always playing.
Oh, okay. That's a good selection. At least that now we know your kind of taste, or rather the kind of music that we can expect from you. But out of the norm, do you actually break from this particular genre of music that you listen to just for the sake of curiosity and found something else a little more uh, entertaining or rather appealing for you? I mean, I'm talking about the pop world or any other different kind of genres. Have you ever thought about that?
Going back to the conversation about lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
I also listen to a lot of Christian music because as a consequence. So that's one. I listen to a
Okay.
whole bunch of different Christian music just to see what everybody's doing. Other than that, pop, yeah, sure, like Ed Sheeran. Uh, Not real mainstream pop, I guess.
Okay.
No dance music or anything like that. Keith
Okay.
Urban, he's one of my favorite
Okay.
contemporary artists too. Yeah.
That's a nice selection. So, okay, so now we know that how the other pop side won't influence you in any way whatsoever. Because I came across a
Um.
couple of conversations that I've had with a couple of guys who had broad range, which is nothing wrong about it. And
Mm,
somehow along the line, through the years, they kind of changed the style of music because they were more influenced about the publicity or rather the attention those kind of genres were getting. So they started changing the style of music, which at the end of the day were affecting the originality of the band itself. So what they started off was something that everybody was looking forward for it, but as time went on, they said, "Hey, this is what the trend is," and they started
mm.
changing the sound.
r-
Which at the end of the day is just like you're completely lost. You have just become one of the rest.
It's what makes money, lah. I mean, for some
Yeah,
people, I guess that's enough. I
it's a bad thing, isn't it? Not a
uh
bad thing. It's a sad thing, isn't it?
yeah, correct. If you ask
Have
me,
you?
yes. Yeah.
Oh man, that's absolutely weird, man. I just couldn't understand that kind of thing. I mean, it's like I said, I'm not a musician, but I've always been a fan of music, of musicians themselves, especially the
And
local scene.
musicianship, I think, is like
Yeah,
always a criteria for me. Like even if it's something new and trendy or what, if there's real like musicianship in it, uh, then I'd usually listen to it.
cool. And you're another guy who's very supportive of your peers in the industry. I've noticed that you've been sharing everybody's work, everybody's shows on your
I try
social
not as much as
media.
I do. The other guys are a lot better than it, but I'm
No, but you
actually
do what? I think you
I
do quite fair, man.
I post and ghost lah. I just post stuff and then I leave and then I don't go back to Instagram for another 3 weeks and then I go back.
So you're not much of the social media person, are you?
Nah, not really, man.
Oh, that's something I don't know, man. It's just like It's been a while since I came across someone like you because these days, like they spend more time on social media than the music itself, and you, on the other hand, a
Yeah,
little bit
fine.
different.
I truly understand its value and its importance, and I feel like when there's a time for me to get
Mm.
on there and harp about it, then I will. But for now, I'm quite content just coming up with music. I think that makes keeps
Nice.
me happy, you know. Yeah,
That's a true rock and roller, man. That's
yeah,
how it
yeah.
is. That's how it goes. But I hope it works out for you anyway. It's
Thanks a
like on the
lot.
long run, because I don't know. The trend or the rather the marketing aspect of things seems to be changing very
Mm,
frequently through the years. So it's like one minute everybody says get on board this, one minute get on board that. First it was like Facebook, and then you go on Twitter, and then all of a sudden it's Instagram, and then they say TikTok. Currently you have to be
exactly.
on
Yeah,
TikTok, and then it just goes on from one to another. It's like you don't know what's next, man.
correct. So when the time comes to use, then you'll figure out lah what's the best thing to do. I mean, what's the point of getting all hyped up about it now?
Yeah, so just wait and see what's the next thing that's moving on right now. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. But I just the thing is, but me and social media, I don't know whether if you find it this way. I find the attention span seems to be shrinking more and more and more. It's like everybody
Mm-hmm.
wants short contents. It's like
Yep.
is I think it's also happening with their influencing the music because I've seen a couple of releases coming out recently. It was like a 2 minute track, or less than 3 minutes track. This it's so good that you want to hear more of it. But at
Correct.
the end of the day, you just find it as like 2 3 minutes and that's it. It's done. And when you ask, you say, no, like, people don't want to listen to something so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you
I've
do you find it that way? Do you feel the
yeah,
same way?
I experienced that too. So it depends on what platform you're posting on, I guess. If you're it's like I was tried posting this whole bunch of IGTV videos that were all like 3, 4, 5 minutes, like cover songs and things like that, right? But people hardly ever watch that. The ones that are short, people watch. But on YouTube, it's different. It's the format for the different platform, I think. So if you want to do the whole social media thing, then you have to be
But
aware lah where
do
you're
you
what
spend
you're
time?
posting, right?
Do you have the patience of watching something or more than 3 minutes or 4 minutes?
Oh
Or you're the kind of guy just
yeah.
like just skip, move on to the
No,
next
no,
one?
I'm old school in that way. I enjoy watching documentaries and listening to speeches and all that kind of thing.
Okay, finally, at
I
least,
have a good
and
attention
now
span.
at least I don't feel left out right now. 'Cause I thought I was the only
Yeah.
guy who just loves to do things long. Even my Facebook status is like everybody goes with 2 lines. I write an entire paragraph, a whole page of stories down there. It's like,
Yeah, it's very hard to expect someone to feed you a message or a point or something poignant in like a minute or something like that.
yeah.
That's for entertainment. I mean, it has its place, sure. Like sometimes you wanna, you're standing by you're wasting time on your phone or something like that. Yeah, then all these clips are valuable to you. But I think if you're trying to say something poignant, then usually you require people to pay attention to what you're saying.
And do you actually? I mean, since we're talking about all this so-called platforms and so on, it's like, do you actually take the time to visit some of this rare, obscure, or rather independent websites or independent artists that randomly you can find on the Spotify or maybe on social media, or sometimes you just stumble upon them on YouTube and you just find them like might have only about 50, 60 views or 100 views plus on the video, but the music is amazing.
Yes,
Do
yes.
you pay attention to those
Usually,
kind of guys?
usually not so much Spotify, but Instagram and sometimes YouTube. Like YouTube sometimes throws out random things at you, right? And then you go
Yeah.
in and you're like, pretty good, man.
Yeah, do you follow? Have you come across anyone interesting? That
Um, Hold on, I'm very bad with names. Um,
we got to figure this out. Sorry if I'm just catching you off guard on certain things. It's just that as the conversation goes, it's like kind of like picking up what's on your head right now.
there's Merchants of Mercury. They are
Oh
like
yeah,
one of the best.
Kid Buck.
Yep, yep. Uh, oh shoot, man.
Kid has this country feel and vibe going on, man.
Yes, yes. It's very it's a southern rock
Yeah.
to a new level. Yeah.
I was shocked when the very first time I was introduced to them. I was introduced to them by Roshan Jamrock. He said, "Man, check this band out." And then the first time I saw one of the music videos, like, shit, I got to hear more and hear more and hear more. And then finally got them on the podcast for one of the shows. It's like pretty unique characters, man. The whole band is unique on their own, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Two
And
different things.
they're super tight, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's one of the best things I saw. I think when during the performance in Jama, along with Billy Blue, they were performing there recently.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct. Yep.
Yeah, two shows together. So it was a good show, man. I just kind of love the one they had in Jama, and they had the second one going on. So hopefully the next one comes up again pretty
That
soon.
one after so long.
Yeah, I know. I
was
just love
really
these kind of stuff, man. It was really
Yeah.
pretty entertaining. And do you have anything lined up soon for you?
As of now, it's hopefully putting plans to get into the studio.
Okay.
Gigs wise, no, it's still pretty quiet. But we have a couple of exciting things happening on the not the Keith Kamaraj and Casualties front. Have you heard of Virtual Space Jam?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so my friends Shake and Wani, they put together Virtual Space Jam all throughout the pandemic last year. So
Yes.
so they're bringing that back. That's next month.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. So online shows are still going on.
Correct. And this time we're getting more. They're getting more artists from all across the country. So it's like
Cool.
guys from Penang, Sabah, Sarawak, and all will be logging in.
Kind of like Shaka is doing a pretty great job in that, man.
Yeah, they're working very hard.
Yeah, it's the whole good thing about this pandemic. You get to discover a whole lot of great bands out there.
Correct.
Compared to the usual commercial ones that you hear in the mainstream. But this time I've heard so many great bands, so many great talents. Well, Shakir, if you're listening to this, I'm pretty sure you are, my dude. Please keep up the great job that you're doing right now, man.
Okay, it's awesome. Yeah. Keep it up.
Cool. So you're going to be performing in the Virtual Space Jam there.
I think that will be much too obvious of a choice. Maybe later. For now, I think that there are plenty of good artists lined up. Yeah.
And how about you? You've also, pardon me, you've also done a couple of live shows on your social media. Do you have plans to continue doing that?
I got into the sessions live thing for a while. Then the whole commitment of broadcasting a show from home is quite a pretty big commitment. So take some discipline. I try to do the YouTube thing every once in a while. Just then it's an idea or something that I thought about, or something that I want to sing about, something like that. So I try to keep that.
Okay.
Other than that, just working on writing music, That's the
nice, man.
yeah.
Because I've also noticed some of the trends that's been continuing since the pandemic is that performing on Twitch, live shows, on Twitch and things like that. That seems to be going on. Have you tried that before?
I did sessions for a while when have you heard of Sessions Live?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So I did that for a while. Never vigorously
Really got into it.
Continued with it.
You are a very unique gentleman, I must say, Keith. You're a very unique gentleman. I kind of like it. It's something weird, different about. Not as weird. It's unique. That's the word I'm looking at right now, because it's kind of refreshing. I must admit it. It's kind of refreshing because I've seen a lot of people have that same style of doing things. I don't want to say same or similar style of doing things. You seem to be a little different from most of them out there.
Yeah, I've been like that my whole life. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that your personality?
Off on a tangent. Yeah, I suppose live in the now kind of thing. I feel like if this is what's working now, then this is what's working now. When it's time to we'll cross the bridge when we come to it. Attitude, I guess. When the next problem comes, we'll worry about the solution to it.
I like it, man. I like it. You seem to be a mysterious guy at the very same time. It's like, I'm trying my level best to get to know you more, but based on the conversation that we've been having for the past 39 minutes, I must say it is unique. That's the only word I can come up with right now, man. Unique, which I kind of like it. I love it very much because it makes me want to see and hear you more on stage, and of course your music. And
doing my best, man. Doing my best to get there. Yeah.
And speaking of music, when do you have an estimate of your music coming up? Getting to the studio, full lock, stock and barrel, whole works, and releasing it? Any estimated time for that?
So waiting for Ramadan to finish,
and
then hopefully we start recording in May.
Okay.
If all goes well, within the next 2-3 months.
Oh, good. So it's going to be this year. Because I kind of like the timeline that you've been working on. 2019, 2020, 2021, and now for 2022, you have something going on, which is amazing, man. I wish you all the best for that. Keith, I must say a big thank you for taking the time and sharing
no worries, man.
your stuff with me.
Appreciate the pleasure.
Yeah,
thanks for the invite.
It's my pleasure, man. It's finally get to know about you, because you are a mysterious man. There's nothing about you on the social media, on the internet. Dude, you know how difficult it is for me to conduct this particular podcast and
post and ghost.
Yeah,
thanks,
exactly.
I appreciate it. I know I can understand how it is a bit difficult thing, but you asked a lot of good questions, and I enjoyed.
No worries, because I just love to know about you, because I was trying to dig up some stuff here. I got to know about Keith. I got to know about Keith, but zip, nothing, nada, zero, absolutely. This guy is like. He's like the prince.
This is the best way, ask the person.
Yeah, ask the person directly. That's the best way of doing it. Like, you're like the prince of the Malaysian music scene, man. The prince has the whole thing. It's like nobody knows anything about him, man. It's just like all of a sudden he comes, he does it and goes, that kind of thing. But finally I get a chance to dig up some stuff from you, and I look forward for hopefully in the near future, hopefully when you release your album or EP or whatever that it's going to be, we'll have a chat again to talk about that in this near future. Yeah.
Cheers, man.
So Keith, I think it's a ritual for me to mention that he has his social media, but what he does on it, only God knows. So you have to follow. Yeah, you just have to follow him. I'll just post up all the details on our website, and you can just check it out. And also the music, make sure you just follow him on Spotify, which is Keith KAMALARAJ. I'm going to post the link for that and all the tracks. I'm going to put the entire play over there. So you take a listen and you judge. Make sure you like it, share it. That's the most important thing. Share the music, and feel free to let him know what you think about it. All right. So, Keith, until we meet again, thank you so much for coming on board.
Yes, buddy. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Bye.